Good morning, Debbie.
Good
It's
morning.
good to see you.
Thank you.
It's quite a significant day for you and for us at St Mary's and the other two churches. After 15 years, you're standing down as choir director
Yes.
and handing the reins on to somebody else, which must be difficult. It's quite a change for you and for Bill at the moment. And if you want to, would you like to just tell people where you're up to with all of that?
Well, we, as many of you know, found the house that we loved in a little village in West Sussex called Felpham. And it needed everything doing to it. And we found the perfect buyers for our house. And as time went on, there were delays and delays and delays. There were only 3 people in the chain. Cut to the long story short, Bill and I became increasingly nervous about moving now without having had our vaccines. Yeah. And the very healthy renovation fund that we had was turning out to be not quite enough because everything in this house, including asbestos, needed seeing to. So we made the very difficult decision to pull out, and we were going to start looking again when we both had our vaccines. So April, so we may still be here this time next year, but I felt it wasn't fair to keep dragging on. So I'm going to be available to help Aaron and Naomi as they bring the choir forward into the 22nd century. I will be there to sing and to help, but I won't be at the helm any longer until finally we do actually move.
That's brilliant, thank you for that. Over the years, there must have been some memorable performances. Any that stick particularly in your head, or are we going to be here a couple of hours?
Yes, you asked me this question in the email, and I thought there's so many, but some really stand out. When we did, early on in my tenure here, when we did the Stainer Crucifixion, and then we did a couple of Messiahs from scratch. We did the Foray Requiem, which was very memorable for me because it's one of my favourite pieces. Many things to do with celebrating the Queen's anniversaries, and of course the 2018 service for the 100th anniversary of the ending of World War I was particularly memorable. But even ordinary Sundays, being here every Sunday, singing my favourite hymns, the Sundays when my favourite hymns were sung and we could all, the whole congregation singing. Part of what was so joyful being here was that we have so many singers in the congregation who would join us for those big occasions. So we had the core choir family, and they are my family, and members of the congregation who would join us, and friends of mine and friends of our choir who would come and make those celebrations especially meaningful by having large groups of people singing. But things like the lovely Teze services we would do for choral evensong could be just as moving. So many moments. And if you don't stop me now, I could go on for another 45 minutes.
I think that's brilliant. A lot of the people who are watching this now will be thinking, yes, I remember that, or I remember that. My favourite was the Queen's Jubilee.
Yes.
It was absolutely stunning.
It was,
and I think any carol service, or every carol service, have just been absolutely memorable to see this place full and the music being led so beautifully from the front.
Thank you.
The next bit, well, I'm going to do this on behalf of everybody in the congregation. You will be missed, Debbie, not immediately, but future. And we just want to say thank you. We want to say thank you for the love you've given us, the respect you've given us, and just the commitment that has made this a very special place for us. And we know with the COVID thing how music is missed. So to remember back to all the really memorable performances has been absolutely great. And you've given a lot of yourself, which is equally important.
Can I just say how much I appreciate this congregation, how they've welcomed me in my funny accent. I'm looking at Margaret now. And the choir, who welcomed me with open arms. They didn't know me at all, but from the very first day they were loving and welcoming and funny and just embraced the whole idea that I had about teaching people how to sing as well as to learn the notes. And that the Thursday nights with the choir were also a highlight for me because they are really lovely people and my family.
Excellent.
So thank you all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did you particularly like sitting next to me sometimes? up at the front when I was singing. Did you find that challenging?
I think I'm going to do what they do in America and take the fifth on that one, Bill.
Debbie, this is from all of us. We wish, obviously, we've not been able to get everybody to sign it in these very difficult times, but that is a gift from us. And we've also got you some flowers.
Oh, how lovely.
I think you might need a van to get these.
Oh my goodness.
They're for you.
Oh, they're stunning. Oh, thank you so much.
I'll hold the bottom as well.
Thank you is such a poor word to say how I feel about this church.
Debbie, it's been wonderful. Thank you. And we'll still see you singing away.
You
but,
will.
We wish you and Bill well in the future.
Thank you very much.
Take care.